To both of you, what an amazing show. Explore Lake of Fire was so interesting to me. And I want to start with you, Dr. Nicholson. What was it about this particular volcano that you're so interested in exploring?
So we have watched this volcano from space for many, many years. It has been giving signals that it potentially hosts something called a lava lake, which is incredibly rare, but so scientifically valuable for us to learn about volcanic processes. But until now, everybody told me this was impossible, that the summit could not be climbed. The islands were very, very difficult to work on. And straight away, that lights a fire for me. I don't like to be told something is not possible, especially when there is so much to be gained from achieving this. So to have the chance to work with such an amazing team that actually made not only the ascent possible, but for us to actually run our experiments and not only confirm that indeed it does host a lava lake, but then go one step further and collect samples that we can use to really not only understand this volcano, but take something that we can learn and apply it elsewhere to other volcanoes that are near populations.
Awesome. And Carla, as she said, this was a volcano that wasn't said that couldn't be scaled, and you scaled everything. I feel like in some of the harshest conditions. What was it about scaling this volcano to get to the summit? Was it for you? Was there any challenges that you hadn't faced in what you've done before?
Yeah, of course. One of my biggest passion is to climb big mountains and in the wildest places, but that expedition was very special when they asked me if I was interested because first of all, it's really remote. We know that we are going to be 10 or 2 weeks of sailing to go there. So if you need help, the people need that time to come and help you. So that is impossible to receive any help. So we want to avoid any problem or accident of that kind of things. And then that's the thing. We have to sail one of the hardest seas, very strong seas. So we were very sick during the first days, especially all the team struggling with seasickness, and then landing and especially taking everything out of the island was really challenging. It was quite big waves with big piece of ice everywhere. So try to swim there and not be touched or hit by some piece of ice, and bringing all the equipment in and out. It was almost dark in the way out and very cold, people tired. Then to set a base camp in the middle of nothing with the strong winds, trying to keep all the tents when they start to break, collapse, everything just start to broke, right? So this is very challenging because you know that you have a limited time, even if we have extra tents and everything plan B for solutions in any case, but we knew that we cannot stay in that island for a long time in a base camp. And then the climbing itself has a lot of deadly hazards because we can have hidden crevasses. We have these very strong winds that we barely move or climb well. We were almost falling sometimes, and with a lot of humidity, 90% of humidity, what makes this rain over you. So you are covered by ice that then can melt and make you wet until the underwear. And then you have boiling hot steam vents that can burn, and the toxic gases. So there is a lot of things that can hurt you, and a lot of we have to take a lot of good decisions, and risk management is really important. So I knew it that we will have a lot of these possible problems or hazards. So we were working hard with the whole team to prepare very well the expedition in order to prevent almost everything or have a plan for any situation.
Yeah. Now, see, right there just makes me want to I want to love to explore from afar. It's close to those situations. But the only way you could learn about what's really happening is to be right there on the ground. And Dr. Nicholson, from when people see this and people look at the show, they'll probably have a hard understanding that in a cold environment there are volcanoes. But when you look at land masses and the way land masses are formed, it's volcanic eruption, volcanic rock that eventually turn into land. When you look at this subject and you see everything, what are you hoping people take after watching the show, especially since this is so much new knowledge that we haven't really learned?
So there are various things that I would like people to take away from watching this documentary. From the scientific side, I hope people can learn something about why what kind of questions we still have around volcanic activity. I mean, the science itself has come a long way in the last few decades. I mean, particularly with the advent of satellites and drone technology, we're learning heaps every single year, but we still need to actually go there, collect field data to validate all our models. And so I hope some of the things that we talk about in the show not only highlight the remaining challenges of volcanology, but also how far we've come. But I would also like people to see this as really that science and exploration can be interwoven together. So they are my two passions, the chance to stand somewhere where nobody has ever gone before, to quote the Star Trek. It's such a unique experience. And that is something that since a small child, I've been incredibly interested in. And yet I'm driven by scientific curiosity. So particularly the younger viewers who see this, I would like them to really take away that science can be everything and everyone. You can, if you're interested in working in the lab, you can do that. If you want to work on modeling, you can do that. But if really what excites you is discovery and getting out in the field, then really there is a place for that. And that's for everyone.
And I agree with you, because right now with science being attacked as a philosophy by some countries, there's no time more where we need to learn about our environment and study this even more and really respect the sciences. Carla, the one thing I do want to ask you is, you've done, as you mentioned, you've climbed Everest, you've climbed this volcano now. You're a true test of nothing could stop you, and whatever heights you reach, you could hit, no matter what it is. What can you tell the audience, especially kids that are going to be watching this and they see you, especially being Latino, seeing a Latina do this? What can you mention to them that are really going to inspire them to be the next you or the next Dr. Nicholson?
Well, I love one quote that I always think is, never let anyone tell you how far you can go. With Emma, we talk a little bit in the expedition about this when we were kids, to have we love to watch these documentaries, the exploration, but most of the times the explorer were men, and for us was like, oh, okay, probably unconsciously you think maybe I will not have the chance, and coming from Ecuador, come on, and people will think that probably, but then just the proof that when, like Emma said, when you have a dream, you just can go for it, even if people in the way say, no, it's not for you. You can go and trust in your heart, and just don't be scared, and probably have confidence, and don't betray you, Yeah. No al auto boicot, lo voy a decir en español, porque muchas veces sí, es verdad que podemos tener problemas exteriores, puede ser difícil, pero a veces uno mismo es el que se dice, ay, es que no me van a dejar, no me van a querer. Es como parar esa mentalidad sobre ti misma y decir, no, lo voy a hacer, también soy capaz, y te vas a tropezar en el camino, pero seguir adelante y conseguirlo.
Exactly. And one last question to both of you. After you get all the footage, because we have to talk, Renan isn't here with us today, but Renan did some amazing photography. When you take a step back and you're looking at the show, fully shot, fully edited, what did you think of Renan's work? Because I think it's some of the best. Nat Geo has some of the best photography and best videography you see anywhere. What did you think of Renan's work on this one? Because it's another level.
I think it's absolutely stunning, and it just captures really the essence of what we were feeling during the expedition, which is really hard to imagine from particularly a two-dimensional photograph, even from video. But you get the emotions through, particularly from some of the candid photography. So when I look back on that, I am transported back into that moment. And for me, on an expedition, that is really rare, because normally we do not have this kind of documentation alongside. So the memories, they fade. The experiences you feel, but the memories start to fade. But now we always have this to rekindle that spark. And from the science perspective, that actually re-sparks some of the thinking that I was having in the field as well. So actually having this photography and these videos as a resource, I mean, this is incredibly valuable for the science side as well as me personally.
As well, they have a lot of knowledge how to move in all this dangerous terrain, and they are just so skilled and strong and good to avoid all that problems and just keep going. What you can see in the images is maybe Emma as the team fighting with the wind, but imagine them outside of the other side of the camera with gloves trying to touch the buttons, turn on, off, volume, anything, just working hard on that and climbing faster with that wind that we can barely move, and with all that difficulties, and catch everything that is going on. Is really, I admire them a lot, and I think it was a big gift to have the chance to share this experience and learn from them.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. Finally, great show. I really loved it. I learned so much about this whole expedition, especially with Lake of Fire. I'm hoping that a lot of people get to see this, because I think it's going to bring a lot of knowledge to what's going on, especially not only just in that location, but around the world in different volcanic incidences that we've seen over the last decade. So thank you so much, Dr. Emma Nicholson and Carla Perez. I really appreciate you taking your time to stop with us. And don't forget, Explorer Lake of Fire comes out October 26th on National Geographic, and we'll see you soon.